Welcome to the deep dive. So today we're going into something pretty intense. We're looking at public reactions, the discourse around really tragic events, and we're doing it through the lens of some, well, very specific source material. Yeah, our source for this one is an excerpt from a YouTube video transcript. The title, Will Rosie O'Donnell Ever Shut Up? Pretty blunt. So our job here, our mission, is really just to unpack the criticisms, the observations in this specific source about how a public figure reacted to a disaster. We want to be clear, we're exploring what the source says, its specific viewpoint. We're not taking sides here.
Absolutely. And it's such a charged area, isn't it? When these things happen, emotions just run incredibly high. You get all these different perspectives clashing, especially around, well, who or what is to blame. And this transcript we're looking at, it really jumps straight into that, presenting a very, very clear stance.
Okay, so let's get right to it. The main accusation in the source, it's aimed at Rosie O'Donnell, and it mentions others too. It basically accuses them of blaming everything about the horrible tragedy in Texas on Trump.
Mm-hmm.
The person behind the video feels she's, blasting her politics when people are just grieving. It even points out the really awful timing, saying it happened during the middle of the night where you couldn't see the water rise.
Right, and the source quickly calls that kind of blame low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
I mean, the implication there is that it's not just like an easy shot to take, but that it's also really insensitive. When families are in shock, mourning, the source argues that making it political right away misses the point entirely. It's seen as just wrong timing.
Mm-hmm. And the source doesn't just criticize, though. It pushes back with its own details. It makes a point of saying extra people were on staff and warnings went out. It's sort of suggesting, look, preparations were made, things were happening, and then it hits you with the scale. 26 feet of water in 45 minutes. I mean, just imagine that. 26 feet in less than an hour.
Yeah, that detail is clearly meant to underscore the sheer force of it. And the source uses that to say, look, figuring out how to better prepare for this, well, that will be studied again and again for years to come.
Yeah.
So from this viewpoint, it wasn't some simple mistake or oversight. It was like an overwhelming, almost unprecedented event, implying that immediate blame is just too simplistic.
Okay, so moving on from this sort of political blame aspect, the source then really focuses on celebrities in general. It uses the phrase "these celebrities" and expresses, well, pretty strong annoyance. It says it feels like they care more about their own personal beef than helping people in need, which is quite a charge. And it throws down a challenge, basically saying, put your money where your mouth is and help these people. Stop making everything about you. That's the message coming through.
Right. And that really brings up a core question from this source's perspective. What should public figures do in a crisis? This video clearly sees some celebrity responses as, well, just noise, a distraction, a distraction from the immediate practical needs on the ground. It even says pretty bluntly that the facts just don't back up the blame being thrown around by these pompuses. That word pompuses tells you a lot about the author's frustration, doesn't it? It's a critique of what they see as just performance.
Yeah, definitely. And, throughout the transcript, it keeps bringing it back to the human element. It reminds the viewer, or reader in this case, that there are little girls still missing, that there are families still waiting for answers, real people, real suffering. And then there's this, almost desperate plea. Is it too much to ask to let these families mourn without you blasting your politics?
And that's really the heart of it, isn't it? Circling back to the missing, the waiting families, it kind of crystallizes the source's main argument. For this author, these moments of intense grief, they should be focused purely on the suffering, on the aid needed right now. Everything else, the politics, the personal stuff, the celebrity focus, it's not just unhelpful, it's deeply disrespectful. In that specific context, it's really a call for a pause, a moment of quiet respect for the grieving.
So wrapping this up, we've sort of pulled apart the main points from this YouTube transcript excerpt. We focused on its specific view, its criticisms about how some public figures reacted, the feeling that politics overshadowed empathy. It makes a really strong case from its perspective that blame was being assigned too quickly, too insensitively.
Yeah, and it highlights something crucial about crises, doesn't it? How information, raw emotion, and the need to make sense of it all just get tangled together. This deep dive showed one very specific, very vocal perspective on how that public conversation itself can become, well, another point of pain during really sensitive times. So maybe something for you to think about is that challenge. How do we navigate grief and the need for information and all the noise of public opinion when tragedy strikes? What really stands out to you there?